All right, let's talk. Let's continue the England conversation. Look, their talisman, I think, needs to come to the fore here. He needs to get his shooting boots on a bit. I mean, you're both strikers. You know a lot about this more than I do. Harry Kane hasn't performed, I think it's fair to say, in the 3 games that he's played so far in the Euros. A lot of the big players have started to perform, and you can see how they're going to carry their teams. What's going on with Harry Kane, Benny? Is it a case of what people are saying, he's not getting the service? Does he need to do a bit more? Is he undroppable? Where are we with Harry Kane?
It's such a difficult one in terms of undroppable, because like we all know how good he is. Like, he scores a lot of goals. His England record is unbelievable. His Premier League was unbelievable. He just come off one of the best seasons of his career, if not the best. Yeah. Golden Boot and the assist, which is incredible. But to me, he just looks like he's run out of gas a little bit. Now, obviously, he's going to need some of his teammates to create better opportunities, because I don't think that's one thing we haven't done is created enough opportunities for him, because you know what he's like. You keep giving him opportunities, he'll take them. But also in himself, he needs to do a little bit more. There's been times where the ball's come up to him, it's bounced off him, the defenders have shrugged him off. So in that respect, he needs to do a bit more.
He was never the fastest, but it looks like he lacks a bit of a yard of pace as well.
Yeah, but I think that's what I mean by out of gas.
Yeah.
But the thing is as well, he has to it's difficult club and country, but he's not playing for Tottenham. And there's no disrespect to Tottenham, but when he plays for Tottenham, he has to drop quite deep. Whereas when he's playing for England, I don't think he needs to do that. And I also think, there's been a lot of excuses made for Harry Kane during this tournament. I don't think the same excuses would have been made for Sterling if Sterling wasn't performing at the level.
No one's going to say Sterling isn't getting the service.
He's undroppable.
I think that comes from the manager, because when I play for England, when a manager starts saying something, everybody starts believing it instantly because the manager's saying it. And obviously, when Gareth Southgate's come out and backed him, and we know how good Harry Kane can be. He's had 3 games now and he's not performed. So if we do lose to Germany, hopefully we don't, are we going to be sitting here doing all the what we could have, should have, would have done? Should Harry Kane have played or not? I was asked the other day, should Calvert-Lewin come in for him? Don't know if that's the answer. Yeah. But at the same time, if I'm Calvert-Lewin and I'm watching the performances, as a player, Harry Kane isn't playing well. So we can sit here and talk about why he's not, but he just isn't, is he? So,
both of you have been through that, right? Whether it be at club level, internationally, where you're on the bench and there's a striker in front of you, and you're thinking, when am I going to get my chance here then?
Do you know what? I've never really been at international level. Yeah. I've always been the Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, so okay, then.
Do you know what I mean? I've always
from Calvert-Lewin's side, what are you thinking right now if you're Calvert-Lewin and you're on the bench and Harry Kane hasn't played well 3 games? What are you thinking?
In his head, he'd be thinking, realistically, he'd be thinking, right, I know Harry Kane's not playing very well and I'm eager to get my chance. But also, he'll know in himself that there's no chance they're not going to start me ahead of Harry Kane. He knows it in himself. I would have known it when I was more the Calvert-Lewin, looking at people like Owen, Rooney, these guys. Other than a small period at the end with Capello where I was starting every game. But before that, I'm always looking at these guys thinking, well,
that was you versus Peter Crouch, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, or something. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, even if they're 75%, I still know they're going to play, and that's how Calvert-Lewin's going to be thinking.
Yeah, it's true.
He's had the season of his life, but he's up against Harry Kane, and he's just like, well, I might get 10 minutes at the end. Well, he didn't even do that because Rashford's gone down the middle. So he's just going to be thinking, well, I don't really think I'm going to get an opportunity. And certainly on Tuesday, might not.
Every country's like this, really, though, isn't it? I mean, you got Benzema up front, and Giroud will be looking, thinking, when do I get my chance? Benzema scored.
But that feeling of when you're away with England, it's different, obviously, men's and women's football. But you do know your role when usually away with England. I've been that player that's started in games, and I always knew in the 60th minute I was going to get pulled. No matter how well I was playing.
Why?
Because it was always what they did. You knew in training what they were going to do the day before. Benny, you can probably, I don't know if it's the same at the men's team, but you knew if you were going to get on or not. So I'd always be able to say to my mum and dad, I'm going to get on tomorrow if I'm not. And it's a difficult one, but at England, they do know usually who's going to play, who's not going to play. And even though Calvert-Lewin knows he's been playing well, he knows his role, doesn't 100%. He knows he's not going to play instead of Harry Kane. Yeah. Same as Vinicius at Tottenham. When he scored 4 goals, he knew the next game, in the FA Cup, he was going to be on the bench again because it's Harry Kane.
How did they get the best out of him then? Let's be honest, we are talking one of the best number 9s in the world. Some people think he is the best number 9 in the world. I don't. I think that's Lewandowski. You could argue Lukaku's in front of him as well. How do England set up to get the best out of Harry Kane? What are we missing here then?
Maybe you've got to allow him to maybe play similar to the way he does at Spurs in terms of dropping off. Let him drop off deeper. Let the guy Sterling, whoever plays, Sancho probably won't play. Saka running behind him.
Grealish.
Let him drop deep, because Harry Kane for me, he's not at his best when he's staying up there.
Doesn't he need that? Doesn't need a Grealish? Doesn't he need someone? You look at the midfield we have got, and if it is Rice and Phillips, and both of those two will start. I mean, in terms of pinging those balls into the feet of Harry Kane, I don't think of those two as that. They've got it in the locker.
Harry Maguire, although he's all the way back there, he nearly got the assist. The one chance that Harry Kane had the other day came from an unbelievable ball from Harry Maguire. And Harry Maguire does have that in his locker. Haven't seen it that much at Man United because I feel like he's had to defend, most of the time when Man United have been on the back foot. But at the same time, Harry Maguire does have that in his locker. And as we saw the the other day, but if you're not scoring goals, right, and Benty can probably profess to this as well, the worst thing you can do, you need any type of goal to go in. Even if it comes off your shoulder, your shin, whatever. All Harry Kane needs is one goal.
Or a beach ball.
Yeah.
Anything, right?
Right, still bitter. Still bitter.
And celebrate.
But all he needs is a goal. And you can almost try too hard, can't you? But I don't even think he's getting in those positions to be able to miss.
No.
You want him to get in those positions and at least be in there. But I just think Harry Kane also has to dig a bit deeper in himself. You know, we can make excuses for him, say he's not getting the ball and stuff like that. But at the same time, I think he does need to, you know, find a way. I don't know the answer. I mean, I think a lot of people are wondering why, because Lukaku, Cristiano Ronaldo, like other players seem to be able to step up when we really need them. And he isn't at the moment.
No, he isn't. Look, we're going to talk about the pieces around him as well a bit later. We're going to talk, should it be Saka over Foden? Should Sancho get some more minutes? What about Rashford as well? A lot of people saying Rashford should start the Euros, barely getting on as well. So we are going to talk about that